Hello everyone, this is Dan from US MX Football here, and today we will be previewing the Europa Conference League final between Spanish side Real Betis and Chelsea. The final will take place tomorrow in about 24 hours at the Stadion Meiki, hope I'm saying that right, Meiki in Wrocław, Poland. I hope I'm trying my best. So let's jump into the predicted lineups here. Starting with Chelsea, I think we're going to put out a hybrid team of our conference squad that we've kind of been using up until now, supplemented with some starting players that I'll get into. So for example, I think Jorgensen's going to start. He'll get the nod over Sanchez in goal, but I wouldn't be troubled if Sanchez actually started because he's looked pretty good in the recent weeks. Cucurella and James, in my opinion, will probably be the starting fullbacks. I think they've both been in good form up until now. And with Tosin and Colwill as the two center backs. Badiashile might start in Colwill's position, but I think Colwill has just been so consistent up until now, so I see him starting. I think we could also use his expertise in, a big game final, these two. Even though Badiashile's played more Conference League games, I think this is, a big game that we want our best players on the field. I think Gusto as well. I don't have him here in the subs. Might as well. I think he's 27, yeah. He could definitely come on or start for James if they need to close out the game, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him as well. As far as the midfield pivots, Caicedo has been excellent, but I would be opening to having him, have a little bit of rest because he has played literally every minute of the whole campaign. So I wouldn't be, if Lavia were to go in right there, that would be fine as well. Also Enzo, I think he can sit this one out because Dewsbury Hall, he has been the main guy in these Conference League games. So I think having him in just to have some minutes wouldn't be bad, but I also be open to having Lavia there. That could look really good. Lavia and Dewsbury Hall. That could work. Actually, I know Dewsbury Hall's right-footed, so I think it'd be like that. But I just predict these two to start. Lavia might come off the bench, but I wouldn't be mad to have him start either. I think Palmer needs to start as well and impress because there have been a few big games where he has kind of gone missing, and I think this is a great opportunity for him to stamp his name with the club and bring home some silverware. That'll be a big chance for him. Tyrick George as well is one of those Dewsbury Hall players who I think have been so good in the Conference League that they should probably merit starting this match. Jadon Sancho as well is such a big question mark. So with Jadon Sancho, I kind of see him starting off the right if he does start. However, his future is a bit uncertain. In the press conference before the game, Enzo Maresca, they asked him how he'd feel for what Sancho's future is looking like, if he's going to stay, if he's going to go, and he was kind of vague about the whole thing. So he didn't give a direct answer of yes, he will be here. He's kind of like, yeah, we have to get this game over with first. So Sancho might start, but if you see Neto here, wouldn't be surprised. If you see Madueke here, also wouldn't be surprised. But I think Sancho, because he's been kind of uninspiring, this would be as well a big game for him to show why he deserves to be here. And that's going to be the same thing with Jackson as well, because he has been, especially in the recent weeks, since that red card versus Newcastle, absent in our most important games. And although this isn't the most important game of the season, for him, it's probably the one where he needs to impress. I'm expecting at least a goal, and if not, then the performance outside of the scoring needs to be almost perfect. Because Nico has been, for the last months, really just kind of ghosting in a few games. He hasn't been as consistent as he was earlier, and I think he just needs to impress to show why he should still be our striker with so much commotion about new strikers we might bring in the summer. He needs to have a good game to show why he deserves to be here. And you guys would know that from if you saw the tier list. So yeah, I'm expecting a big game for him. So let's look over at Betis. Now I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too familiar with Betis's season. Obviously, I know Manuel Pellegrini has, at least in the Conference League, had them going pretty well. They have a pretty tight game with Fiorentina in the semis, but they had a pretty close game with Fiorentina in the semis, so that will be on their mind, obviously. And they had an okay end of the season in La Liga, I believe finishing 6th. Let's check. Yeah, finishing 6th. They're going to get Europa League anyway because of their finish. So this for them is really just more about the silverware. They're not fighting for any kind of European places. So I think the pressure is kind of the same for both of us, where it's like we don't need the European football, but what we do need is the silverware and a big performance. So looking at their back line, I'm expecting Ribal to start right back. I know they've had Sibal injured there, so he's just been starting more games, so I expect him to go, as well as Mark Barta, most experience. I know they've also had is it no, it's not Fofana. What am I thinking of? Why did I gotta go that far back? I don't think it was in this game, yeah. Oh, there we go. Nobel Mendy, that's who they've had also in center back. But I think Bartra being the most experienced, him and Nathan are probably going to be the center back pairing. As well as Ricardo Rodriguez, big experienced player. I didn't even know he was still playing, to be honest. At left back, I assume him starting. Paulo Fornals, familiar with the Premier League and Chelsea, so I expect him and Johnny Cardoso to be the pivots, with Isco just in front. And out on the wings, Ezaluzzi. Hope I'm pronouncing that even close to right. Cedric Bakambu and the GOAT Anthony on as the front three. As far as players to keep an eye on, to be honest, it's got to be Anthony, right? He's gonna have a good battle with Tyrick and Kuko on that left side, so I think they should be able to shut him down. Like we've played Anthony before in the Premier League, so he's not anything unfamiliar. He's in good form, but I think we should have the quality to shut him down, because it's going to be him and Isco, right? Him and Isco with Cedric kind of just finding runs in behind somewhere as the biggest threats. Probably the link-up play between these three is going to be the hardest thing. Anthony finding space here to curl in shots and linking up with Isco, with Bakambu just kind of finding space to generate chances wherever he can, because Cardoso is not going to come up much. And Zuli, he's probably been their best player outside of Anthony, but I think Caicedo should be able to gobble him up on that side. And yeah, as far as us attacking, I think Jackson needs to have a big game. Barta and Nathan aren't necessarily, Van Dijk and Kanate, right? I think George can definitely find space in behind Rival to exploit. And Sancho is not quick, but he should also be able to beat Ricardo for pace there. As far as Palmer, unless he's doubled up by these two, I think he shouldn't have much trouble either finding and exploiting spaces wherever he can. And I think they're going to keep an eye off of Dewsbury Hall, because they're going to be so focused on Palmer and Sancho that he might have a chance to score. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes up on the score sheet with something. So my final prediction is probably going to be 2-0 for the Chelsea with the goal from Jackson and Dewsbury Hall, in my opinion. I think we'll keep a clean sheet as well to just see out the season. And yeah, hopefully things go as planned. Shout out Mudrick, who will be in attendance as well. Hopefully he can give us some morale. But yeah, that's going to be my prediction video for the final tomorrow. Tell me how you guys feel. If you disagree, if you what your prediction might be. And yeah, I should have a new video out tomorrow about the final day, but I thought I should probably get this one out before. But if not, I'll probably have the analysis of this game tomorrow. Just be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one. Peace.